Very happy afternoon to my dear, very respected parents and students. I am Leena Francis, your principal with you. I'm extremely happy that you could join today's NEET webinar, which has been organized by Test Prep Cart Support. If I can just speak about it, on 22nd of May, I had attended their session and found it absolutely very informative and useful. I hope I'm audible. Shall I continue? Fine. So, dear children, we have invited this present class 11th, present class 12th, and the outgoing batch of 2020. And I'm extremely happy to see many of the names, wherein I'm sure they'll be able to definitely get a lot of advantage of today's session. When it comes to NEET, all of us know it is National Eligibility Cum Entrance Test, wherein your cognitive capacity will be measured in biology out of 360 marks, chemistry 180, and physics another 180. All together makes it 720. Whereas they have got lots of questions to answer, a lot of questions to ask, a lot of information to know. Being NRI, do we get any other criteria for marking? What is the minimum marks which to be attained by the student? How do we apply? What is the fee structure? Whom to apply? Where to apply? There are lots of questions. And I'm sure after attending this 1 hour session of NEET eligibility cum entrance test preparation, that test prep card to support this session, I'm sure you'll be able to definitely be in a better position. Now, I would like to introduce the resource person for today. Mr. Manish Kumar is a household name among NRIs in the Middle East countries and worldwide for any query or information related with JEE, NEET, or SAT with more than 12 years in the field of education. His talks and seminars have been game changers for many students and parents globally. Ask about the information regarding, be it JEE, NEET, or SAT, the first name which comes to the mind of education fraternity is of Mr. Manish. He was also associated with Harvard Graduate School of Education for Mind, Brain, and Education. He is an ignited mind who is known for his simple and to the point approach for providing information. I can vouch on it because I also have experienced it earlier. So, wishing you all the very best, very informative session, and over to Mr. Manish. Thank you.
First of all, thanks a lot to all of you, and wishing you a very good home. We are really very thankful to Principal Ma'am of Indian School C, the management team of Indian School C, all staffs, Counselor Ma'am, Mrs. Sobati, and once again, Principal Ma'am, who basically they all have taken this initiative. Principal Ma'am and Counselor Ma'am, they both were very instrumental that they should be bringing the right type of stuff to you, right? And this basically the reason that we all gather over here at this point of time in order to go for a webinar. This is it. Let me tell you that almost in all the countries that I have visited, not a problem. Not a problem. So almost what I was telling, almost all the countries that we have visited, I have visited along with my team. I've been doing it since 2nd of July 2008, visiting the Middle East, all the countries. I have personally visited almost all the schools of Oman, but I could never visit Indian School C. I know at that time in year 2015, there was one Mr. Vinoba, if I'm not wrong, his name was. But because of some reasons, it could not be materialized, right? Oman basically is very closer to my heart simply because of the reason that it's a very calm, serene place. And the parents over here are very refined. When we compare the parents of Oman to that of other countries, we really find that the parents basically they are very innocent. And this basically, I would also like to tell you that wherever you go in the Middle East, the main worry of the parent basically is education, and the right type of information. You all went to Oman, Saudi, and all these places in search of a good life in order to earn money. Fortunately, you are making it. Of course, there are ups and downs, right? It keeps on coming. People who are experienced, 40 plus, they know that, okay, these things are not very, a marvel or surprise in life, right? This is it. So I can see that there are approximately 50 parents. I think your children are also sitting with all of you in order to get the right information. All I would like to tell you that, I mean, once again, I would like to extend a very warm welcome to all of you. This session basically is divided into two parts. First of all, talking about the technical aspects of NET, and second, a little bit of focus on NET academic aspect, especially physics, by our teacher, Mr. Naveen D, who has been from IIT Roorkee, and he's counted in top 5 teachers of India when we are talking about JEE or NET. His simple method of teaching is something which is a marvel. People who have been taking classes with him, they know his caliber. So let me tell you just a line about test prep card. That basically test prep card is in live online interactive sessions for NEET and JEE and SAT1. SAT2, of course, is now not part of the picture, right? So this NEET, basically, we are an organization which is comprising of more than 240 teachers at present. 70% of them are ex-IITians, and we are into physics, chemistry, math, biology. That is it, English. So we are into JEE, NEET, and SAT1. Completely live interactive, both for interactive session. After this session, we would also be giving a call within 24 to 48 hours in order to invite you for our academic analysis session, so that because NET is a high stake examination, you need to solve 180 questions within 180 minutes. In fact, you are running against the time. There would be 90 questions for biology divided into geology and botany, then 45 for physics and 45 for chemistry. It's altogether of 720, one question of 4 marks. So this is all about the paper design of NET. This examination basically demands you to demonstrate your efficiency in this subject, right? That how good you are in physics, chemistry, and biology, how good you are at these subjects. If you are good, you can win the world, right? You can go to the top institutions here in India, which are, AIIMS, All India Institute of Medical Sciences, which is currently 6 to 7 in numbers. And then there are 630 plus government medical colleges, which basically are into different part of India. That is it. Now, let me touch your, your feelings. Having said that, what makes NEET little intricate? There are 2-3 things. Each year, a new notification comes about NEET, especially the southeast regions, that against NET they have gone to apex court, Supreme Court. There is always a clash between these states and MCI, Medical Council of India, right? Sometimes NEET is going to take place twice a year, but still it is once a year. The quota, right? The fee, right? And if you look into the scenario of whole engineering examination in India, it is little straightforward, right? Where you have not to struggle that much in order to extract the information. But when we are talking about NEET, everything is available, but the thing is that you face a little bit of difficulty in order to comprehend, right? So there are a lot of things that we shall try to cover here in this session, right? That's why this session becomes so important. And we would also like to create something, a way that after attending this webinar, at least all you parents, you have never to worry about information, right? And there would be no myth in your mind after attending this session, right? So this would be our effort through this webinar. So NEET basically stands for National Eligibility Cum Entrance Test. As I told you, it's all about physics, chemistry, and biology. 180 questions to be done within 180 minutes. That's it. Now, the thing is that there are 2-3 things which are very, very important. Okay. I mean, the registration process of NET, when the form filling up starts, what about the counseling, what about the fee and everything. You know, I would like to tell you one very important fact to all of you. Probably, I have no idea whether you know this or not. Recently, in the month of last year, I think in the month of January or February, this year only, 2020, I'm talking about, there was a data published by the Indian government. And that data basically was what? I mean, definitely the impression is going in the mind of your parents that NEET is very difficult. I'm sitting in Oman, or I'm sitting in, Jeddah, I'm sitting in Riyadh and all these places. Whether my child would be able to crack NEET, right? Well, this is something, a question that probably you must not ask yourself all the time, and no one would be able to answer you, right? But in this way, let me put some facts to all of you, right? So that, it becomes so easy. I mean, once we know the fact, right, then our target is clear, right? For example, let me tell you that you people who are living, in Oman, okay? So your parents or NRIs or Indian of foreign origin or PIOs, right? You know what basically the cutoff that you have to get? The cutoff is 339.5 out of 720. Now you must be surprised that it's so low, but it's a fact that out of 720, if your child is living at SEEB in Oman, you need to get 339.5 out of 720. Okay, that basically the cutoff for NRI. I mean, those students who are not writing NEET from India, they're writing from any part of the world, right? This is it. And for Indian student, it is basically 434.5. So whereas you, in order to compete for NT, have to get 47% only, over there, this becomes approximately 56 to 59%. You can just calculate it. I'm a little bit being oblivion about this, right? So this is it. So this is a fact that we wanted to, bring forth to all of you. Second intricate fact is what? The distribution of seats, right? What basically is the distribution of seats under NET, right? Let me tell you that there are 630 plus government medical colleges in India. The number is increasing day by day. I think within 1.5 or 2 years, the government of India has decided that it is going to add 15,000 more seats for, through NET to government medical colleges. We are not talking here about the private medical colleges because information about them is always hidden, right? They work as a syndicate. So if we tell anything about them, we would not be able to validate it later. So here we are keeping the focus of this talk completely, focused upon the government medical colleges, which I told you 630 plus. So out of the total number of seats in the 630 plus government medical colleges, right? You are living in Oman, you don't have any concern with X number of seats. You only have concern with this 15% of the seat, which is also known as central pool of quota or all India quota, or in jargon, you can also say that it's NRI quota or 15% of quota, 15% of quota. So your concern basically is what? 15% of quota, which in official term is known as NRI quota, right? So here, through at least 4 to 5, we have got the data with us, and we would be able to tell you the exact number of seats, right? So let me tell you that for MBBS, here I'm not talking about BDS, Bachelor of Dental Surgery. I'm just talking about the MBBS seats, right? So what basically constitute of this 15% of quota, or how this 15% of quota is constituted, right? Let me tell you that each state of India, in India currently there are 26 states. So each state of India would be contributing 15% of the seats to this central pool of quota, or 15% of quota. For example, if Karnataka has got 5,000 seats for this MBBS in government medical colleges, it will give 15%. Excuse me. It means 750 seats to NEET, right? In the same way, Tamil Nadu will give. In the same way, this Kerala would give, Bihar would give, UP will give, and I mean, except those states which are ruled by the central government, right, or the union territory. All states where there is elected government, they would be contributing 15% of its seats, and this basically would be constituting the 15% of quota. Now, the official number of seats in India up to 2020 is how much? 66,000 approximately, right? It could be 66,900 or something like this, right? Out of that, 33,000 seats are there in government medical colleges for MBBS, and 33,000 seats are there in private medical colleges, right? In the same way, let's talk about BDS. I have spoken to you about MBBS, that under MBBS, there are 66,000 seats. So half the seat is for government medical colleges and half the seat is for private medical colleges, 33. Fine. Now let's go for the BDS, Bachelor of Dental Surgery, which is an additional branch of medicine. Here in this, you shall find that there are approximately 27,000 seats available in different states of India for BDS, right? Out of that, 24,000 seats are for private medical colleges. And then there are only 3,000 seats in government medical colleges, correct? So I repeat it once again, that for BDS, in all, including private and government, there are 27,000 of seats. Out of that, 3,000 are from government medical colleges and 24,000 are from private medical colleges, right? Now, let me tell you, because this is also a very good piece of information and required piece of information for you parents, that what basically is the quota of 15% quota is state-wise. State-wise, all India quota for this 15%, for that it's because you are living in Oman, this is your quota, okay? So I'm just trying to give you information as much as possible, as precise, right? Please forgive me if I speak one or two seats here and there, though I always try to keep the data intact with me, right? So I've got the data with me that for Andaman and Nicobar, there are 15 seats. Andhra Pradesh, approximately 300 seats. Here I am talking about 15% of quota, not those 66,000 seats. Only that number of seats which you can avail by living here in Oman. So I'm reading it state-wise, okay? Now, Andaman and Nicobar, how many seats? 15. Andhra Pradesh, 300. Assam, 110. Bihar, 150, 150. Chandigarh, only 15. Chhattisgarh, approximately 80. Delhi, 1100. Now, why 1100? Because you must know that those states which are union territory or governed by the central government, their total number of seats goes to 15% of quota. That's the best thing, right? In Goa, 140 seats. Gujarat, 20 seats. Haryana, 88 seats. Himachal, 75. Jharkhand, 45. Karnataka, 425. Kerala, 200. MP, 125 approximately. Maharashtra, 450. Manipur, 30. Then Rajasthan, Odisha, 130. Rajasthan, 220. Then again, Chandigarh, it's because it's a union territory, so there was only 15. But Punjab and Chandigarh, it is 90. So Punjab has got 90 minus 15, 75 seats. Now, Sikkim, it has got 100 seats. Tamil Nadu, 480. Telangana, approximately 170. Uttar Pradesh, 300. Uttarakhand, 60. And West Bengal, 320. So altogether, we have got approximately 4,300 seats available under this Central pool of quota, 15% of quota, NRI quota, All India quota. This 4,300 seats is your seat. For that, by being there in Oman, you shall be contesting. You don't have any concern with those number of seats. Your concern is only with 4,300 seats, right? This is it. Now, here, after giving you the state-wise quota, now let me tell you about one very important quota, which is AIIMS. AIIMS stands for All India Institute of Medical Sciences. Government is very keen on opening new AIIMS, right? And let me tell you that wherever there are AIIMS, I'm giving you the number of seats. So these seats would also be added to central pool of quota, right? 15% of quota, which is your quota, Oman people quota, right? In Andhra Pradesh, 50. These seats are for AIIMS, not for state government medical colleges. These seats are for AIIMS, All India Institute of Medical Sciences, and for MBBS. So I can tell you that for Andhra Pradesh, it's 50, Bihar, 100, Chhattisgarh, 100, Delhi, 110, Madhya Pradesh, 150, Maharashtra, 50, Odisha, again, 150, Pondicherry, 200, Rajasthan, 100, and Uttarakhand, 100. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Currently, there are 10 to 11 AIIMS, and this is the availability of seat under these AIIMS. So what a good thing, that additional 1,200 and 4,300. So altogether 5,500 seats available for people of Oman for MBBS. Understood? So this is the matrix of seats. I believe after this, there should be no doubt in your mind. What is the total number of seat, right? Etc. etc. So currently we are all standing in year 2020, and the number of seats available for you people, how much? 4,300, right? And then you can also say that approximately 400 seats for this BDS, Bachelor of Dental Surgery, 4,700, and approximately 1,200 seats in AIIMS. So how much altogether? We can say that 5,700 seats we are having. And those who are currently in grade 10th have just migrated to grade 11th. For them, I mean, those who are writing in 2022 NEET, for them, definitely the number of seats would be more. It would go approximately 9,000. It's because Government of India is planning very heavily upon establishing medical colleges in different parts of India, approximately 110. That would give you availability of approximately 15,000 seats more. I'm talking about the government medical colleges, right? And then you can extract your number of seats. So definitely there would be 15% quota, very good number of seats. That is it. It is also very much possible that the Government of India would also increase the number of this, maybe this 15% of quota could become 20% of quota. This all depends upon the situation. But right now, this is the situation, right? So altogether, we are having, sitting in year 2020, the number of seats, how much? Approximately 5,700. I believe after this, you should have no myth about the number of seats, the matrix of seat or something, right? This is it. Now, the second thing is that I'm going to touch a very important topic, right? This is the question of every parent. I mean, wherever you go, I mean, people even arrange different, tea ceremony and all these in order to get answer of all these questions. But there's nothing to worry. Let me bring this fact to all of you. What basically is the fee? What basically is the fee that you have to pay if your child has cracked NET under this 15% of quota, right? Let me tell you, you all must know that the fee for a government medical college is completely a matter of discretion as what that particular state government would charge. For example, if you belong to UP, Uttar Pradesh, it is very much possible that your child is finishing his 4-year degree of MBBS only in 2,40,000, right? Per year 60,000, per semester 30,000, right? Because this is the UP government policy. But maybe that in a adjacent state, Rajasthan, your child is getting the same quota for 22 lakh. In Kerala, 6.5 lakh. In Goa, 26 lakh. In Maharashtra, 22 lakh, right? In Punjab, 45 lakh, right? So currently there is no clear-cut policy, right? Currently there is no clear-cut policy as what basically the fee that you have to pay. It's not unanimous. It is not that the government of India has fixed that whosoever comes through this 15% of quota will be paying X amount. No, it is X minus 1, X minus 2, X plus 10, whatever it is. I gave you some example. Though normally, I think a tentative thing is that the tentative fee that you may have to pay for a 4-year degree of MBBS in government medical colleges under this 15% of quota, it could be what? It could be something on a scale of 6.5 lakh to 22 lakh, right? In most of the states, you shall be finding this, right? So this was answer to your question. Now, Naveen sir has also taken his seat. So we have discussed about what basically the NEET is, what basically the paper design, then this matrix of seat, and then about the fee part. Okay, we are doing everything very objectively. We are not bringing any technical facts or data or something. So that it simply eats up your mind without any reason, right? So whatever facts we are putting to all of you. This is very objective. You can rely upon all these facts. This is it. Now, a little bit about NEET physics, right? Naveen basically is a command over, physics. His very simple approach, it makes most of the students happy. And he's also called, so-called factory of NET and JEE because students from his batch, they crack NEET or JEE in bulk, He is basically all about physics. So I'm just handing over the baton to him for 10 to 12 minutes. And after this, I would again take my seat in order to speak with all you about, the story of registration process for NEET, right? That would be very informative. That would take another 15 minutes. And after that, we shall invite your questions, whatever, if you think that still we have missed on anything. So Naveen sir, please.
Hello, everyone. Greetings. This is Naveen. I'm from Test Prep Card Physics Department. Here I'm going to discuss few quick points about NEET physics preparation. So look, in my experience, medical students generally find physics very difficult. And I get many requests from students that, sir, I'm finding it very hard or I'm not able to get confidence in physics. But in my point of view, physics is very simple. Okay. Because it is totally based on concepts, unlike other subjects, what you are preparing for. For example, let's take chemistry. In chemistry, you have to go through a lot of chemical reactions. You need to remember color of compounds, periodic table, etc. Okay. And in every concept, you must have realized there are some exceptions. And there is no clear-cut method for explanation of those exceptions. For example, if you go for electron distribution in an atom, there is a formula, right? What is the formula? That you need to use 2n square, where n is number of orbital. But if I ask you to draw electron distribution for copper, if you are going to write distribution using that formula, right? So you will end up with a wrong answer because copper is an exception, right? But in case of physics, you don't need to bother about the exceptions, right? Now you may ask a question that if physics is so easy, then why we find it difficult? Where is the problem, right? So let me tell you, there are two main points. What I observed that most of the students rely on a lot of practice. They try to learn the concept by solving the problems. But I hope you all must be knowing that in every problem, there is some reasoning and some concept. Okay, so when we try to learn the concept using problem solving, then B mainly focus on reasonings related to that question and where concept get compromised. Okay, so in my opinion, first of all, you go through the concepts, right? Go through each and every derivations in detail. Once you get comfortable with the concept, then try to solve problems based on that so that you can get confirmation and confidence, right? Now, next is most of the student keep looking for shortcut tricks. You can see in many coaching institutes, even in YouTube videos or in some books, some shortcut tricks for problem solving are given. Okay, and student go for that. That is very dangerous practice, right? Let me give you an example. Suppose in some books a concept is given that if an object is started with initial velocity u, okay, and it finishes with some final velocity v, then you can calculate average velocity as u plus v by 2. Okay, it is a formula, right? Now, if a question is given that an object is starting from initial velocity 10 meter per second and finally it finishes at final velocity 30 meter per second, then calculate its average velocity. Then by that formula we can directly calculate 10 plus 20 divided by 2 and you will get 20 meter per second. 10 plus 30, I must say, right? But if I do slight modification in that problem, that an object is moving with a speed 10 meter per second for initial 10 meter distance, then it started moving with 30 meter per second for next 20 meter distance. Now calculate average speed. Now if you jump over this using this concept like u plus v by 2, then you will end up with a wrong answer. Because in this case, object is moving with constant velocity 10 meter per second for 10 meters and then with 30 meter per second for next 20 meters, right? So there is very common saying in physics community that every formula in physics comes with certain terms and condition, right? So until you are aware about those terms and condition, then you will end up with a wrong answer. So I would recommend that don't fall for those shortcut tricks. Okay, because those shortcut tricks are very dangerous. Okay, now what is the fear factor in case of physics, right? So look, when a student start preparation, basically you all start preparation from grade 11th. Okay, so the grade 11th physics starts with mechanics. Mechanics is a part of classical physics, right? In that, the all concept is based about a body having mass. We try to understand motion of the body having mass. We try to understand effect of force working on that. Okay, or rotation of the bodies, inertia of those bodies. So this concept is pretty hard to visualize that what is happening in real. And second problem is all these concepts are being derived with the help of calculus. Calculus is a new subject. It is basically a branch of mathematics. You will get detailed description of calculus in grade 12th maths. Okay. Now for a student who is just passing grade 10th, okay, and he or she do not have complete exposure about advanced mathematics or advanced physics. Okay, so he finds it very difficult to visualizing the mechanics of a body having mass and concept of calculus. Okay, so the people from teaching community are doing a lot of effort. Okay, and almost uh, for every concept an alternate method is available that you can understand derivations or concepts without using calculus. And generally we recommend for NEET students to go for an alternate method. But still, in my opinion, calculus is an integral part of physics. Okay, so for better understanding, we must practice on calculus. Okay, so at least every student must get through the concept of differentiation and integration. There are hardly 5 to 10 formula. Okay, if you can master on that, you will be comfortable with the physics, right? So this is very important part. Now next, what is my suggestion, that when you start your preparation, please have patience for first 2 to 4 months. Okay, once this mechanics part get over, right, and you start studying like thermodynamics, fluid mechanics, wave equations, or optical physics, right, so you will find those concepts very comfortable. Okay, so you will get comfort and you will try to you will basically get more clarity about physics, what I must say, right? Now please see, now the question is how to start preparation or NEET physics preparation. So first of all, when we start preparation for any exam, in fact, before getting into details of the subject, we need to understand the exam itself, right? So let me just give you a brief analysis of 2019 NEET exam. In 2019 NEET exam, there was 45 questions in physics. In that 45 questions, 21 questions are based on reasoning and simple concepts. So if you have clarity about concept, that is basically theoretical part of physics, then you can easily solve those 21 questions. And next 21 questions are medium level questions. In that you need to apply some reasoning, some concept of physics, okay, and slight effort required. And from there you can get the solution. Only 3 questions were there that was higher difficulty level problem and based on calculus and some advanced analysis, right? So now the point is which material we should choose to start our preparation, right? So please see, NEET exam is being conducted by 2 agencies. One is CBSE and next is NTA. There is an official book of CBSE, that is NCERT books. You don't need to bother about the availability of those books because all PDF version of these books are available on internet. You can get it for free, right? So first of all, we need to get command over NCERT books, right? Generally, most of the coaching promoters tell you that don't go through that book. This is very basic level book. But my suggestion is you must have confidence and clarity over NCERT books. Okay, because it belongs to that agency and there are very good concept in that. Once you complete your NCERT, go for another book, that is SC Burma. There is very beautiful explanation of concepts in that book. Okay, and you will get more clarity. Now the final problem comes into the picture. The final problem is, if you explore internet or you are going to study material of various institutes, then a student get confused that how much problem or at up to which level I have to solve these problems. I observed that many students get involved in solving JEE advanced level problem, although they are preparing for NEET, right? And finally they end up with nothing. Okay, so the practice part is very important. It should be very structured. Okay, for that at Test Prep Card we have very well researched study material, right? That is well organized based on each and every concept. We have various problem labels. Okay, so after completing these 2 basic books, if a student go through our study material, then he can definitely score good in NEET exams. Okay, so this is all about what I wanted to share with you. So thanks for your patience hearing.
Thanks a lot, Naveen and Pranay. Let's start the story of the journey of NEET application and registration, because these two parts basically are the conundrum for the parents, where to go, how to do. I mean, once the parents are taking admission with us, they say, would you help me filling up the NEET form? Would you let me know the deadlines and all these? Whereas I would like to tell you that these things are very generic and very simple, right? Very simple, right? You have got all the information. Even if you don't have any document, all the information are very much on your mind. You can fill it up, right? Now, let's start. Basically, the whole, the pocket of this journey, just like, say, for example, if we are flying from, Cochin to Muscat, on the ways, there are many countries over which we are flying over, right? So it is, the same way that we have to think about the deadlines and all these, right? When to do what? What I mean to say, when to do what? That's very, very important. And here, we need to be a little bit of careful. But first of all, what I would like to tell you, that right from today, please start creating PDF. For example, your child has already passed grade 10th, right? Or say even if he has passed grade 8th, 9th, something. So whatever academic transcripts you are having, you also must have got passport of a child if it is not about to be renewed in coming 5 years. So what you can do, that you start creating PDF of all these documents, right? This is going to be very helpful. So once you are going to start your journey of filling of the form for NEET registration process, okay, then you first of all start creating soft copy of all the documents in PDF. Generally, NEET takes place during second week of May each year, right? Since 2018 or up to 2018, there used to be a center in each country. I'm talking about here GCC countries, right? For NET as NET center, right? But after 2018, we have no idea. The government stopped establishing the center for NET examination in Middle East. So now, I mean, maybe this year it's not there, but maybe from next year it will be there, right? So, I mean, please be ready that in order to write this NEET examination, you need to come to India, right? As regards the matter is concerned with the centers, choosing the center, while filling in the form, you would be asked to fill up 4 centers, right? So as per your choice and convenience, you can fill up all these 4 centers. Generally, you get the first center, but currently the situation is that the government requires to keep a good social distance. Earlier it used to be 1 meter, but now it's going to be at least 2 meters. So now they need to create more centers, and it is for our safety. There is nothing wrong with that, right? So this is it. So now let me tell you that the journey of this NEET application form, this all starts with filling of the form, right? The government body which is responsible for conducting the NEET examination is what? NTA, National Testing Agency, that conducts the examination for NEET as well as for JEE, correct? So they would release brochure in the month of November, and the application form for NEET is released each year in first week of December. For example, those who are writing in 2021, for them the form would be available by 2nd or 1st of December 2020, right? Now, generally the last date to submit application form is what? First week of February. You can fill out the form up to 7th or 9th of February, okay? Then filling up the, making the payment, that is again by the first week of February. And then what happens that once you have filled up the form, so of course, maybe I have not made mistake, but you have made many mistakes in form, maybe a simple word or something, right? So what government does, that in the month of February, right? Or no, I think in the month of January only, from 15th January to 31st of January, they open a correction window where you can enter the NTA NEET portal and you can make all sort of rectifications if you have filled up anything wrong, right? So there is nothing to worry. Okay. Now, as I told you that after that, it means that you need to, after that, what happens that you need to download the admit card. So the admit card generally is released in your NTA NEET account, and that is available by the, April. You can go and you can download from there, right? So let me tell you that in order to fill up the form for NEET, you need to go to the NTA NEET portal. Over there with a valid email ID. With a valid email ID, you need to register yourself first. You need to create your account, and then you can fill up all the details very easily, right? There is nothing that you don't know, right? You know everything, right? For more tutorials and everything, stepwise instruction to fill up the form for NEET, it is very much available at testprepcard.com. You can even take help from there. It's very informative, right? So once you have downloaded the enrollment form, after that, you need to, once you have downloaded the admit card, after that, you are ready just to come to India in order to write this, right? I mean, NEET final examination that I told you takes place generally during last of the second week of May each month. Okay. Now, what basically should be your nationality? So let me tell you, we all are Indians and we all are eligible for that. Even the people who are non-resident Indians, whether in US, Canada, Singapore, wherever they are, overseas citizens of Indian, people of Indian origin who are known as OCI and PIO, and some quota is also there for foreign nationals, right? Foreign nationals, some quota is there. Now, second thing, that what is basically the qualifying examination? Okay, you should have taken physics, chemistry, and biology or biotechnology along with English in grade 11th and 12th, right? This is it. So physics, chemistry, biology, or biotechnology along with English. This basically is the core subject from any board, which is, I mean, in class 12th or any equivalent board, they are eligible to apply. Now, in physics, chemistry, biology, and English, you should have got how much marks? Only 50% of marks you require, right? That is it. Now, your minimum age should be 17 years, and there is no bar on maximum age. Okay. Now, the maximum attempts, the thing is that candidates can give as many attempts of NEET examination they want. Like JEE, it's not that you would be writing only twice a year, consecutively 3 years, only 6 times. NEET you can write as many times as you want. Now, so these are some of the nitty-gritties in order to fill out the form and everything. I would also like to tell you that the registration process for NEET, it can be summed up into 5 broad categories. First is what? Registration. As I told you that for registration, you should have a valid email ID that you could always remember with the password. And then a valid phone number, either in Oman or in India, whatever number, but make sure there is no WhatsApp or anything from NTA NET. They would not entertain it. That number should be valid so that whatever SMS is sent to you by NTA authorities, it should reach you, right? So you can even put the number of Oman, that's not a problem, with the country code 00968, that is it. So this is the registration. Once you are entering into the NTA and NEET portal, in order to fill a form for this NEET, you need to fill up the basic details: child name, mother's name, where you are choosing the center, then father's occupation, mother's occupation, your home state, your address, and everything. Address can be written for, wherever you are in Oman, you can write that address. That's not a problem. Okay, that doesn't make a difference that anyone can debar you from writing NEET. That's not a problem. Okay. Now, third thing is that uploading the document. Okay. I would once again, because some of the parents, they are writing in chat that they want more, insight into that. So let me tell you that third is uploading the document, and there are 2 important documents. One is what? your photograph, that should be very specific, I would tell you. And second thing is the passport copy, mark sheet, etc. These are the things, documents. That's why I told you that please keep all the documents in PDF form, right? That is it. Fourth is what? Once you have done all these, you need to make payment through your debit or credit card. That is it. And at last, you need to take the printout of confirmation page. Without taking confirmation page, please do not leave NTA portal. In this confirmation page, basically is with a unique application number. Okay, with all the, it's a summary of your identity as well as a proof that you have filled up the form. And please do not confuse this confirmation form, okay, or confirmation page with admit card for NEP. Confirmation page printout can be taken just at the time of what? Just at the time of filling the form. Once you have made the payment, as the last process, the form comes to you. You can download it. Okay, that is it. Now, we already spoke about the 5 steps, which are required in order to fill up the form. How to register, filling the form, uploading these scanned images, which should be preferably in PDF, right? The photograph should be in JPEG form. That is it. Application, payment, and then printing the confirmation page. Now, let me tell you, as we already discussed, that you should have a valid mobile number. You should have a valid email address. Class 10 details and class 12 details, I mean to say mark sheet, certificate, and school details. All would be asked from you. Okay, so this is it. Spelling, I mean, these are the caution that you must be taking, because in order to make the things unique, government has made this arrangement. Your child name, father's name, mother's name, that is it. And also Aadhaar, right? If you have not applied for Aadhaar card, please do it today. You can do it online. Okay. Now, Aadhaar card basically would be requiring last 4 digits. Let me tell you that Aadhaar basically is not a mandatory thing when you are filling the form. But let me tell you that at the time of taking admission and counseling, it would become mandatory. So instead of facing a last minute hue and cry, you please apply for Aadhaar card today itself for you, for your child. Okay, it's going to help you immensely. Okay, that's it. And also maybe that all of a sudden, the way the decision is taken, Government of India has made it mandatory. Then what would you do, right? So please do apply for the Aadhaar card, right? Then class 12 roll numbers issued by the board, or if you have any election card, passport number, ration card number, if you are there in India, ration card. Generally, I don't think you must have got ration card number. Maybe your bank account or any other valid government identity number. These all should be kept with you in PDF form, right? And whenever it is required, please use that. Okay. Now, the photograph, uploading a photograph, it has got a dimension that you can definitely find on our website. Okay. And then what basically happens that in order, I mean, please, the photograph of a child, it should be in a particular dimension, and it should also not be that much heavy so that you could not upload it. Okay. And then the background of the photograph and everything, the face should appear properly. These all are very, very important. And at last, either debit or credit card or net banking details. Once you have done all these, then you need to make payment through debit card and credit card. And after that, please take out of the confirmation page, right? Then in the month of April, you can download the admit card. In the month of May, in mid of May, tentatively, you would be writing NEET. The result would be coming by the last week of, I think, June. And then the rounds of counseling would take place on the basis of your AIR. AIR stands for All India Rank, right? That is your merit indicator. I mean, the AIR is only for your 15% of quota, right? Even for this 15% of quota, AIR would be decided on the basis of that. And then on the basis of the counseling, if your child has cracked, you would also be invited. You would be invited for the counseling that takes place generally in 2 to 3 hours. In the month of July, you would go, you would attend the counseling. These are technical things. The counselors, on the basis of your marks and all the things, right? Number of availability of seats, in which state, whatever seats are available, whether if all the seats have exhausted, nothing can be done. That's why the 2 and 3 rounds of counseling take place. You will be going to these counseling sessions, which takes place twice or thrice. And then after that, once you have gone through this counseling session, for that particular state or in AIIMS, you will be submitting the fee. And then your child is ready to start his career in a medical college here in India. And that's it. So this was the story of registration, as well as application form, as well as counseling. So within 1 hour, Naveen and I, we just tried to cover all the academic as well as technical things. We have tried to keep it very much simple. Now, the most important thing is that within a day or two, you are going to get a call from us. I shall personally give you a call in order to invite all of you academic analysis session, because this is most important thing, so that you could know about the abilities and aptitude of your child. It is not good just to push your child without any reason into any career, right? It could be fatal, right? We know many students in Oman who attended our this academic analysis session, and today they are very happy because they have got proof of concept that, okay, my child would be able to do. And we always, I mean, whether I'm surpassing that cutoff, which is 339.5 out of 720, 47% because I'm an NRI. So these things are very, very important, right? So we'll be calling you. This is it. Hopefully you have given all your email address and phone numbers are with us. We'll give you a call in order to invite you for this counseling session. That would start from Monday, especially for Indian school CB students. This is it. Now, I would also request you just to ask your questions to us. We have got 10-15 minutes, as many questions you can ask. And please hear these questions very carefully and the answer, because this could also be answered to your questions, right? That's it. Thank you. So I'm ready to take the questions.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Manish. Your lecture was so good, sir. It was so useful for me. Thank you. Thank you for your lecture.
Thank you, sir.
So I have a question for you, sir. I'm Amjad. I'm from Tamil Nadu.
Yeah.
So, sir, my doubt is that under Tamil Nadu government quota, shall I get a seat in government college under Tamil Nadu government quota? Will I get a seat in government college, sir?
See, basically the
as well as in private college.
I would not be able to make, sir, any comment about the private colleges, because these are open, like low-hanging fruit. You pay and you can go. Okay, in that there's not that much logic and intricacies. But here, let me talk to you about the government medical colleges. Right, you belong to Tamil Nadu, correct? So the good thing is that to whichever state your parents are having a domicile, right? Domicile shows that you belong to this particular state, and domicile can only be proved on the basis of your own property and ancestral property, right? So what basically happens in your case, that not only you would be able to take NEET quota of 15%, but on the basis of domicile, you would always also be eligible to take, you know, your state quota on the basis of a domicile. That's it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Yes, ma'am, good afternoon.
The presentation was quite well, and it was like giving all sorts of details. I have, my question is, I have rather two questions. One is this OCI quota is same as NRI quota. It comes under, there's a one quota for OCI as well as NRIs. That's my first question. The second question is for UG, like MBBS, the AIIMS exam will be they'll conduct a different exam for AIIMS quota, or like it's the same one and the same. The NEET exam is the quota for both.
I'm talking everything in terms of you parents who are currently in Oman. In Oman, you could have all these status. I mean, you all are expatriates, right? So NRI is a term which is defined. For example, if you are in US, you are an Indian citizen living in US. After living, over there for a period of time, you are eligible to get green card or permanent residency. Then you are an NRI, right? Otherwise, you are not, right? But in Middle East countries, they don't give you any sort of permanent residency or green card, no matter you are living there for 25 to 30 years. So in that case, you always remain what? An expatriate. The government of India gives you the status of PIO or OCI, right? So basically this OCI and PIO quota, or even if you call yourself NRI quota, of course the government has made it crystal clear that if you are in Oman, you will be taking this 15% of quota only. So these terms do not make a great difference, right? That is it. And what was your second question, ma'am?
There will be a different exam for the AIMS colleges, or it's the same in NEET?
Even for AIMS, it would be in NEET.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Yeah.
Next question.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir, please.
My name is Benjamin,
Yes.
and I am interested in environmental science, and I would like to know if NEET is necessary to be written while to enter into environmental science colleges.
Environmental science in India is more tilted towards physics, chemistry, and math. So in engineering colleges, you can go for environmental sciences. You won't be able to go it through, this NEET. That's the first thing. Second thing is that there are many colleges in India which are good. They also offer you environmental science on the basis of your, grade 12th score. But what I would advise you that in order to know the true, color of environmental science, or just to go for an advanced, course in environmental science, you must not think about India. The best places would be Australia, New Zealand, Singapore, Canada, and US. And for all these places, you need to write an examination which is known as SAT-1, okay, which is math and English. 154 questions to be done within 210 minutes. So this is just my advice that you choose for that option instead of coming to India if you are thinking about environmental science. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So asking about the no problem, the paper design. Basically, there will be 180 questions to be done within 180 minutes. Biology basic part is divided into geology and botany, which will have 45 each, 90 questions. Chemistry 90 questions, and physics 90. Chemistry 45 questions, and physics 45 questions. So 45 into 4, 180 to be done 180 minutes within 180 minutes. Each question is of 4 marks, so 180 into 4, 720. Minimum cutoff required for you people in Oman is 339.5 out of 720, which is 47%. This is it.
Hello.
Hello. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, please.
Yeah. Good evening, sir.
Very good evening, ma'am.
Sir, my question is that if parents are working here and a child appears in +2 exam from India, is he eligible for NRI quota?
No, ma'am, he is not.
And second thing is, if a child appears from here, is he eligible for general quota?
No, ma'am.
Or just 15% only? Only 15% we
By
can
being in
apply.
Oman, 15%. By being in India, the whole general quota. That's it.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. So any
Hello.
other? Yes, sir, please.
Just a quick question. What is the main criteria for determining their domicile status? Let's say I'm from Delhi and I have properties in Delhi and Gurgaon as well.
Yeah.
So do I have a choice to determine whether I should appear, my child will appear from the Haryana quota or Delhi quota?
It depends upon the father's domicile. That's it.
By saying father domicile, that means my education and my parental house is in Delhi or Gurgaon. That's what you're trying.
Yeah, your parents' house, it is seen in terms of her ancestral property. Maybe you are staying for 30 years, but you have got some agricultural land or something in Haryana, right? You originally belong to that place, so you shall have a domicile of Haryana. That's it.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other question?
Good evening, sir. Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, please.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, please.
Sir, where can I get the NEET course? Is it able to get the NEET course for my son in Oman?
We provide live interactive sessions, and for that we are definitely going to contact you. Once we invite you for an analysis session, so we will talk about that later. That's all.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Good
Any
evening,
other?
sir.
Yeah, good evening,
Sir,
please.
yeah, I'm from Tamil Nadu.
Yeah.
You told 400 plus seats are available as a NRI, this 15% quota. But when I visited last time, I asked in some private colleges, they told there is no NRI quota in government colleges, only in private colleges. Do you have any idea?
See, what they say, I have no idea, because we get our data from MCI, Medical Council of India, and only on the basis of the data, we have given you all the information. So if you want more, you can go to MCI website and you can check over there. That's it. State-wise 50% quota, that is it, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Right,
So I have a question. That's the last question, sir. So here, like there's a different criteria for students writing in India, right, sir? For NEET exam. Like there's a different criteria for students writing in India as compared to NRIs here, right, sir?
Criteria
Or
would be
same.
Criteria is same.
Like the quotas, and so I meant the quotas.
Even
the
for
reservation of seat.
In terms of whatever reservation, quota, everything in terms of caste or physically disabled, whatever, everything is same everywhere. That is it.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, all these documents would be uploaded, and that would be your property. So you can enjoy it for a long time, in order to seek all the information about this. This is dedicated to the parents and students of Indian School SEED. So on behalf of Prep Card, we once again express our deep, sense of thanks to Principal Ma'am, whole management staff, Counselor Ma'am, and all the teachers. And thanks a lot to all of you parents. Hope we have given all the information, which was very much useful. And after that, you shall have no myth. So let's start preparing for NET, in the best way. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Mr. Pranay, just can I have my word now? Yeah. Thank you so much for the wonderful and informative presentation, and then the information what you have posted. And I'm sure that the students and the parents must have been listening to you, and then I am sure they'll be taking the fruit of it, out of it. So once again, thank you very much. It's completely a voluntary service what you are doing, and then on behalf of all the children and the parents who are attending today, I'm thanking you and sign off. Thank you so much.